Hey loves, I want to talk to you about something. If you want to know the 5 steps that I use to get from behind the chair before age 30, then keep watching. But wait, don't leave. I know that some of y'all are like,
what? I'm way past age 30, girl, so I'm about to go.
well listen, these 5 steps will work for you too, because with this 5-step system that I'm about to give you, you can take your business no matter what field it is, no matter how long you've been in the hair industry, and maybe you're not in the hair industry at all. Maybe you're just ready to retire. Guess what? I have this 5-step plan for you that will take your business to levels that you never imagined. If you want to know how to formulate your business to do just that, then keep on watching.
Trust that exactly where you are is where you're meant to be. So keep your chin up so your crown doesn't fall. Remember, you're royalty.
If you haven't watched the first video, make sure you check the link in the description box below where I give you the initial 3-step action that you need to take, my initial format. I'll wait. I'll be right here. Until you get back, I'll be right here. Okay, so now you back. In the first video, I told you guys, targeting your passion is the very first thing. What are you passionate about? And once you figure out exactly what you're passionate about, you then dive deep to get that knowledge so you can become the expert in that field. So now it's time for you to package this knowledge and package up this information. But so many times we're just like, hey, I'm going to make this post on Instagram, or hey, I'm going to make this post on Facebook. You think that you know, incorporates you to having a business, but the truth of the matter is there's so many different things that go into running a business. With the sponsors of today's video, PocketSuite, you can compact all of these different things that you need to start a business into one unit. Step 1, you have to decide what type of service that you want to offer. What is your trigger and what is the problem that you are fixing, right? It is so important that you don't just go searching on social media and type in the most common phrase, suppress, rap, because they've already done that. You to create your own title, your own spin. When I first started doing the silk wrap, there were not a whole bunch of people doing it, and I called mine silk fusion therapy. That is what I called it. So it was the silk fusion wrap, and that is what ended up separating me from everybody else, because they were like, what's the difference between her silk fusion wrap and everybody else's? Then it becomes extremely easy for you to begin to reach your goals. You know why? Because you know exactly what your potential clients' issues are, and by you having your service description matching their problem and showing that you have the solution, booking you will be a no-brainer. So having a detailed description that labels and addresses the problem and lets your potential customer know that you have the solution is key. Putting this in the description on your PocketSuite app is so important. I'm going to explain each section in detail, but please know that these things are not things that you want to skip over. You want to be as detailed as possible with each one of these scenarios, okay? That is the service name, the price, the description of the service duration, availability, lead time, meaning the time needed for the service being rendered, preparation, how long it's going to take you to get ready for your client, the location, but you can determine of whether or not you want to give the location up front or if the location is given upon booking. All right, and then single capacity. For me, I always make so that only one person can book at a time, and this is how you prevent yourself from double booking. But if you have some type of system, or if you have an assistant that makes it possible for you to double book, you can put the timing down there where you can determine of whether or not you want this to be a single capacity booking, right? But you have the option to do that. And I'll tell you guys this, as a consumer, it's really hard sometimes. Like if you are having people calling you all times a day, sometimes you're just like, yeah, okay, and if that happens 2 days in a row, you freaking forget. But having this makes it so you won't. All right, and then next is, which is my favorite one, a video conference, aka video consultation. And then you can add a service photo, a picture of what your client can expect when getting this service rendered from you. All of these these things are extremely important, right? So when we're talking about price, you want to make sure you're not just going around and looking online and seeing what the best price is for like what everybody else is charging and being competitive in your pricing like that. That is the worst thing you can do. Depending on the field that you're in, you may not give a set price. For an example, if you are if you work construction or something like that, you're not gonna be like, all right, it's gonna cost $1,200 to build that. Like, no, it may be, you may be in a business where you may need to give a rough estimate or something like that. Or if you are in the hair industry and maybe you're doing a color service, or if you are a braider. Me personally, I think this is something that all braiders should use. Instead of having an exact price, you can have a estimated price and you can send out an estimate, right? Or again, if you don't want to do estimates, then you can just have a set price where they pay and that's it. They can pay a partially, where they can use that partial payment as a deposit to secure the appointment. And then they can pay the rest in cash or by card. We'll talk about that in a second. Step 3 is clutch, and one of my favorite parts about the PocketSuite app. I'm sorry, all right? You can develop contracts. If you're in the type of business where you're trading time for money, or any type of business, it's so important that you have a contract, especially when you are an independent contractor. So I absolutely love this portion because you can set up your own policy and procedures. But I want to say this, when you're setting your policy and procedures, one thing that I noticed, a lot of times you'll go online and you'll see cosmetologists, hairstylists, or whatever business you may be in, and most people will have all of these rules and stuff like that, but then you go to the actual business and they don't even stand up to the rules that they expect of their customers. You never want to be that type of person. First thing you can do is create the type of atmosphere where your clients can't expect of you what you expect of them. For example, if you have a late policy, there are a lot of cosmetologists that have a late policy, but then their clients have to wait an hour before they can sit in their chair. That's not something that's gonna work. So make sure that every policy that you set in place within the contract is also things that you're held accountable to as well. In the contract, you want to make your clients feel like it's not just the type of contract that they're signing,
Like, you better agree to this, and if you don't bring your ass up in here, girl.
like you don't want them to feel like that. You want to say,
Hey, this is a contract that we're signing. This is my end of the bargain, and this is your end of the bargain. And as long as you do what you're supposed to do, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do, and our dreams gonna come true.
that's basically what you're doing. But guess what? In PocketSuite, they have a section where you can go within the app and set up your very own contract between you and your client has to sign the contract upon booking you. They cannot book or pay a deposit or anything without first signing that contract, and it is a legal document between you and your customer if anything were to happen. This portion of it is amazing. Granted, you can do this on your own website, but you can do it in your pocket. You kept it in your pocket. That's why it's your PocketSuite. So again, you can have your late policy in here, your cancellation policy in here, your deposit policy in here. You telling them not to be bringing all their kids and their sister, auntie, cousin, sister-in-law, Tracy with the limb foot. You know, like, you can tell them straight up within the contract, everybody can't come. And that is something that is so imperative to running your business, because for the most part, it's kind of a free-for-all. Let's be honest. Like, come on, I do your hair if you bought. Like, that's how it be. But it does not have to be that way. The more professionalism you display to your clients, the more that the more you can expect in return. And if they don't give it in return, you have a contract that says, hey, I already told you not to be on that bush. This is super easy because, again, it's going to give you and your clients and your customers comfortability with each other, trust, and structure. So it's something that, in my opinion, is freaking priceless, and it makes it super easy because it was so hard for me at first to have policy and procedure. I had to send out different templates and things of that nature just to be able to get all of that stuff on an even queue. So the fact that you can have it in this PocketSuite right in your pocket is like, what? Like, why wouldn't you take advantage? Like, do it. Just do it. This is where stuff gets tricky. I don't know how many actual professionals I have on here, and remember, we're not just talking about cosmetologists. This goes for every field. Most of the time, whenever somebody comes to you and they're paying you for a business or a service, they're only thinking about in their head the service that you're providing. Like, if you, for example, if you go to a braider, you're only thinking about her actually braiding your hair, or going to a hairstylist, you're only thinking about them actually combing through or brushing your hair, whatever you're getting. But that is not the only expense that you're paying for, right? If you are not in a place where somebody coming up to you like, hey, you want to buy some CDs and DVDs real quick, you are paying a certain amount of money for their booth rent, right? So as a cosmetologist or as a service provider in general, when you are making your price point, there are so many different things that need to go into it. So this is where the math is going to come into it. You need to determine, for example, if you are a cosmetologist, how many bottles of shampoo and conditioner are you going to go through in a 30-day period? How many bottles of shampoo and conditioner are you going to go through in a 30-day period? How many bottles of leave-in conditioner and things of that nature are you gonna go through in a 30-day period? Well, guess what? Once you have your client record book in order and all of your information is right there in front of you, you can divide. You can go ahead within the PocketSuite app and add all of your expenses for your business, everything that you do. Everything, you can add that up in your booth rent, your products, the tools that you use, any booking apps, websites, anything that you do, you can add that in your PocketSuite app. And what you do with that, that's how you determine your price point. So if your booth rent is $360 a week, no, you're not necessarily doing $40 silk presses, because you have to put into that number, okay, how much am I paying every week? How much of the money that I'm making today is going to go towards my booth rent at the end of this week? How much money that I'm making today is going to go towards me replenishing my shampoo and conditioner, my leave-in conditioner? These are things that you have to take into account when you're running a business, because, for example, if you do the numbers, right? If you do the numbers and you find that let's say, and I'm just throwing a number out there, let's say you do silk presses for $50, right? But with your booth rent is $300 a week, and you're using expensive products on your clients and things of that nature. When you do the math, yeah, you're doing the silk press for $45 and it's a really good price. You have a bunch of clients, but you're literally doing hair for free. Because when you add the calculated cost based on the place that you work in and the products that you use and your skill level, the time frame that it takes you to do it, it actually costs you about, when you do the math, each person is costing you about $50, right? In product, in labor, and things of that nature. So if you're only charging $45 for a silk press, you're literally working for free. And that's something that we don't understand, because we don't have certain systems set up. We just say, okay, I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna write this in my book, and we leave it at that. An app like this helps you to be able to treat your business like a business. Whenever you are an independent contractor or entrepreneur, and not just in the hair industry in general, you get sucked into this thing where it's like a hobby, and sometimes you get money, you know, but it never gets into a business that you can scale, because you're constantly doing the same things over and over again, because you are not grossing as much as you net. All right, so that is something that's really, really, really important for you guys to get. And I know that sometimes you guys may look and you'll see like, oh, silk presses used to be $35, but now they're $100. 100 or now they're 200 or whatever the case may be. You guys, that is because now in 2022, just like in every other field where people are starting to see their worth, cosmetologists, hairstylists, braiders, barbers, estheticians, makeup artists, everybody is starting, I'm sorry if I forgot anyone, everybody is massage therapists, everybody is starting to see their worth and starting to see that they don't have to work for a little bit of nothing. So you just have to determine what type of person you want to go to. Normally in the hair industry, your money goes out faster, 10 times faster than it comes in, because we'll work and then we eat and then we go buy the stuff that we need to buy and we go home, fall out, go to sleep and do the whole thing all over again. But if you have everything set up, your money and your savings will automatically grow. There will be a certain amount of money allotted for your expenses when you set your prices to match your expenses and your labor. They also have a card reader where you can accept payments directly through the app. So not only do you set your price point on there, you can also send estimates. You can also send invoices, right? And when you send invoices can be sent for so many different things in the hair industry. You know, with you doing hair with your hands, you're not necessarily sending out invoices, but you know, you may send out invoices for a business with, I don't know, whatever type of business you can send invoices for. That guy. Not only can you accept cash payments, but you have a full client history, a full client record card for each one of your clients, where you can go in and input any color formulation, any problem that they may have with their scalp, and whether or not they're high or low porosity hair. You guys, this is so important. If you are a professional cosmetologist that is trying to take your business to the next level, to separate yourself from the cosmos who are just basically doing hair for fun, an app like PocketSuite is everything for that, because once your clients meet you the first time, you have them locked for life, right? Because you'll have a full client history of them. You can do a porosity test right there on the spot, log in their hair's porosity, right? And then one of my favorite parts, y'all, make sure you can also import all of your client files. Remember, this isn't, if you already have a website, this is an app that you can integrate inside of the website that you already have. Or let's say you don't have the time or necessarily the funds right now to sit there and build a website or to pay somebody to do it, then this will act in replacement of that. It really will. I can't think of anything that you can do on this app that you can't do on your own private website, right? So it's great because you don't have to worry about your clients like, oh, I forgot the appointment. You can send out as many email confirmations as you want, right? As many appointment email confirmations as you want, or you can have the option to send text notifications in addition to the email notifications, right? And then something that's even doper, y'all, you know how most people are like, oh, hairstylists don't do consultations and stuff like that. Well, guess what? On this app, you can list consultations. You can do video consults. Let's say you don't have time throughout the week when you're doing hair to do video consults, but let's say you work Monday, let's say you work 4 days a week, right? Let's say you work 4 days a week. One of those 4 days can be all video conferencing, where you don't even go into the salon. You're just at home, like set up a little spot in your house, and do video calls. You can do video calls straight through the PocketSuite app. So when your clients book you, they can book the appointment. Let's say they book the appointment for Saturday. Let's say maybe they want to book a video consultation to meet you on Tuesday. So they can book that at the same time within the same appointment, right? Or let's say you have a client that only comes like once every couple of months. You can have something set up where your clients that only come see you once every couple of months, you can meet them at the midway point and say, hey, let's do a 15-minute, 30-minute, 5-minute video conference every, let's say, every 6 weeks, so that way I'll make sure that we're not getting too far behind, or that you're not damaging your hair, or if your client is running into any problems and they're not able to get in to see you. These are, so in my opinion, oh my god, it's so amazing. Or if you just want to start adding coaching and consulting to your business in general, this is a completely different service that you can add on top of your actual hair appointments, which is something that I do personally now. You can try PocketSuite free for 30 days. And after those 30 days, or maybe a couple days before, if you don't like it, you can cancel at any time. It's not a problem, but I just don't think you're gonna cancel it. Like, I just don't. If you are a business owner and you've been waiting for something to take your business to the next level, if you've been waiting for something to structure your business and be extremely professional and cross all those T's and dot all those I's, then PocketSuite is the app for you.
Trust that exactly where you are is where you're meant to be. So keep your chin up so your crown doesn't fall. Remember, you're royalty.